All right, so my love, someone saw you from the jump and like something in their head just flipped. Okay, it's not soft, it's not just romantic like movies. It's more like a switch, like a switch got yanked hard and the whole board lit up with one thing only, which is you. Okay, so they didn't even know why at first, like that you just some regular person dropped into the middle of all some kind of chaos in their life. Like you're someone who like smiles too easy, okay, you like talk too free, you act like the place isn't like full of people who the you know uh what should I say, sell their like own blood for edge, okay? And something pissed them off and pulled them in at the same time. So we're talking about someone who is dominated by the emotions here, okay, for you. So see, they started watching you. Because of that, they started watching you. Like it's not like that they didn't wanted it or want it. It's like they couldn't stop every time you love with somebody, okay, else like their jaw locked every time you just look at some other guy or other person with a soft face and the calculating eyes of someone else, looking at you like you know what, runs their blood hot. Yes, and that one my like the one like the one you maybe there is someone you might who might have liked you at first, okay, like you have liked someone here, okay, at first, but we're talking about someone else here, not the person who you like here, okay, because we are getting here very highly territorial energy, so this is not coming from the person whom you have a kind of feelings for. We are talking about someone whom you might be have a kind of a thing for, but that person is a problem here. Because see, this person doesn't like you standing too close to them, smiling with a soft smile, acting all sweet, while their mind ran like numbers here. Okay, like they saw it clear. This person is seeing it clear that the other person that might be you are interested in is might be something that tells them that they wanted you. Yes, they want you. And you might be someone who is not noticing it clearly. Like maybe you are a little bit more honest, okay? You might be a little bit oblivious to it. Like you don't know that the other person is also interested in you. Like they are also starting to lean in towards you. So this person is interfering very, very highly here, okay, between the two of you. And I'm saying that it's not the way maybe people expect. No feast, no nothing, okay, no dragging anybody into a dark corner or confronting them, not that type of. This person is doing something colder here, like something that cut deeper because it didn't leave marks you could point at. So this person is like starting, feeding little piece of information in the right ears. You get me right here? Are you able to follow me? Yeah, this person is feeding ears here, quiet, precise, like they're making sure that certain words reach you, okay, at the exact wrong time, okay, things that sounded true enough to stick with you, okay, that pain, like things that paint that other person in a light that didn't match the soft face you kept looking at. Okay, yeah, this person is like making things um you know what, like coming between the two of you and trying to show you that what that person's true color is, but not by doing anything directly here. No, they are not pointing fingers at that person. They are feeding ears here. Like they don't want to be the center of attention. They want the information to reach you, but not through them. Okay, and but that's not even the crazier part. You will be totally blown off what I'm going to tell you. The energy is so much of a different today. I have never done such kind of a reading before, because they doesn't just drop one rumor and walked away. Okay, they are building a whole chain here. Yes, like they let you overhear a conversation maybe that wasn't fully real. Okay, might be they timed it so that you would catch just enough to fill in the blanks yourself. Okay, like making it look like that the other person had been talking about you behind your back, not with hate but with that sleek useful kind of interest, like you were a stepping stone for them, that type of, like the attention was never pure from their side towards you. And once the seed is like wanting to form, okay, like they are watering it. Yes, like small comments, side looks, and a shrug here, like that. If you are someone who will definitely are in contact with one another, this person might be someone who's feeding you with this information like that. Yeah, I thought you already knew it. That type of nothing like they could get paid for. Just enough to make you start second guessing every smile that other person is giving you. Okay, now wait, because this is going to be explaining something. I'm telling you that this person is highly, highly interested in you in a very, very strong way. This person noticed that you are not noticing them and you are noticing someone else. Your eyes are on someone else, and they just got this heart boiled. Their heart started to boil with this race that why not me? Why this person is not choosing me? Why you are not choosing them over that person? Actually, what actually they have that they doesn't have? Okay, so they started to do things in a very different way. This person is like have a very strong fixation on you, possesses. Okay, like this person possesses a very strong fixation over you. There is a kind of deep psychological need here, inside of them, to completely make you theirs, mark you, claim you as their own. Okay, and this person is extremely craving you. Yes, like craving for extreme devotion from your side. They want everything that you are giving to the other person to come their way. To look at when you look at the other person, maybe they want you to look at them that way. The feelings that you might be starting to feel for the other person, they want you to feel for them. Okay, yes, that's what I'm getting here, because this is explaining everything, why they're doing all these mischiefs. Like, you know in their head it is simple. Like, if they couldn't pull you closer by force, they push everything else farther away from you, like create distance without ever touching the other person, make you feel that quiet sting of disappointment, the slow freeze that happens when you realize someone you like maybe never liked you the way you thought. Okay, like they wanted you to feel that drop in your chest and then look around and find them standing there instead, like steady, unapologetic, and already watching towards you. Like they want to be the pillar for you at that moment, okay, and the safe harbor, or you can say safe place for you. By the way, remember what I said earlier, like about how they had it, how much space you took up in their head? Like, yeah, because that part got worse the more they worked the misunderstanding. See, because every time they saw the doubt flicker across your face, like something in them settled and then got hungrier again. Why? Because they started living for those moments now. The way your shoulders would tighten when that other person walked past by you, the way like your love got a little thinner, like they told themselves that it is a strategy, clean, smart, but deep down they knew like it was need, raw and ugly type of need. And the desires for you are like off the chart here. The desire like very intimate moments with you. Okay, they are actually smitten. Totally smitten, like they couldn't just take off their eyes from you. They might have noticed this person sometimes gazing at you in a way like that. They're longing for you, like they're yearning for you, or you might end up noticing it now, because see, they wants to take you out and show off to the whole world now that you belong to them. Okay, so now hold on, because it wasn't just about removing competition here completely. What is it? Like they want to seize you all to themselves. See, yes, it wasn't about controls either, like about making the path between them and you the only one that still felt solid. This is what it was in their mind. They started showing up in the spaces that the other person used to fill, not forcing any conversation, just existing there in your radar, okay, in your reach, quiet, present, letting you feel the difference, okay. And one of them had like started looking like a question mark now, because the other one looked like a locked door that somehow still open for you, isn't it? So you all, it's getting messier. See, because the more the misunderstanding is working, the more like they're feeling things they didn't have words for. It's not entirely love, not yet, okay, but something heavier. Like what? Like their ribs had grown an extra organ, that type of, okay, and only quieted when you were like close enough to touch. Because see, they doesn't see you as an extra person, they see you as an extended person of their body, extended part of their body. Okay, they watch you process the new distance with that other person, and feel like this twisted satisfaction mixed with something close to guilt, like they refused to name it. But see, they didn't care that if even it was dirty. They only cared that it was working at first. Like, I wasn't even gonna say this, but they were like nice. They said alone and replayed the whole thing. And they carefully placed words like timing, the way you started pulling back without even realizing you were doing it. And instead of feeling bad, like they felt settled. Like the noise in their head finally had a shape now. Like you have gotten under their skin without permission, and now they had never given that space back to anybody out there till now. Okay, like you were creating, like they created the misunderstanding. Okay, and it wasn't strategy anymore. Yes, now it is not a strategy anymore because it was instinct. From the very first, it was actually instinct. They misunderstood their feelings. They kept the path clear. They made sure that when you looked up, the only face that's waiting for you is theirs. Okay, because this person is someone who will take 100% of the shots with you. They're not gonna let anyone wander around you. Like, okay, so that's making sense here because now I see that why they kept pushing the distance instead of just claiming you outright. See, because force would have been what? This person is not kind of reckless. Okay, this actually person sees themselves as someone like your knight with the shining armor. Okay, that's actually why they're not claiming you outright, because force would have made you dig in your heels, but doubt makes people drift. Like there was there every time you drifted a little farther away from the other person, ready, patient in the most impatient way possible. They were always there, prepared, ready for you. Okay. And yes, like patient is the most impatient way possible. Okay. They didn't want it or needed you to hate the other person. No, that wasn't in their charts. They didn't actually wanted you to hate them. They just needed you to stop leaning towards them. And once it happened, the rest would have actually gradually followed. And that's what happened. And that's what's happening. Now I see why they're acting like that, because in their mind the whole thing was already decided. Like you were theirs. This is what in their head. Okay? Yes. This is what is their head, that you were already theirs. Okay? Yes. They see themselves as someone perfect. Okay? And they see themselves along with you. Like the perfect thing should be matched with perfect person, not with anyone other. Okay, that's why. Because they already want to show you off to the world as theirs. They have already marked you as theirs in their head. I know that some of you will be answer that who the hell are they to mark me as theirs? And that's correct. But the way this person is acting is a total different way. This person is not outright doing things to just so that you can blame them for the things they're doing. Like they are very sneaky. They're very sleek, you know. You can't catch them what they're doing and how they're doing it. You cannot even reach to the source from where it started. Like they're not even like leaving any trash, you know, trash. Yes, like they're not leaving any trash behind them so that you can track them down. Okay, see, the misunderstanding was just clean up, like removing the last soft distraction, so the only pool left was the one between you and them. Okay, they didn't care if it looked cold, like they didn't care if it left that other person confused and quietly bitter. They doesn't care about it because that person is not worthy of their attention. All that mattered was the way their pulse kicked when you started looking at them longer. The way the hunger under their wrist quieted just a fraction when you would talk to them like they was like still human. They kept feeding the distance because stopping would have been risking you walking back towards the soft smile and the calculating eyes that has been like, you know, all the time on you. And that was the one thing they refused to allow. So they stayed in the shadows of every conversation, every glance, every almost moment, making sure the story you told yourself about that other person stayed just cracked enough that you wouldn't fully trust it again. Okay? And the wildest part is my love. They like how it felt. Okay? The quiet power of it. The way one well timed sentence could shift a whole board without anyone seeing the hand that moved the piece. Like they told themselves that it was just smart, just necessary. But deep down they knew it was the only way he could keep the feeling that had been woken up inside them, the one that only answered to you. It twisted, I know. It is very twisted and it is very, like, what should I say? It is something that you cannot say that it is totally toxic or not. Okay? But they would do it again. Remember, they would do it again. If it means to keep you to themselves, they would do it again. Okay? Cleaner next time if they had to, quieter, whatever it took, like take them to make sure the past is clear and the only orbit left in your life is theirs. Because once something gets under your skin, the way you got under their skin, you don't share the space, you clear it and then you wait. So I see that there's felt things around you that didn't have clean names. Okay, yes, this person is someone who is feeling like feelings that they have never had, might be felt, or those feelings that never mattered to them this much before. Okay, yes, this is what I'm getting from their person. This person has the take charge attitude actually. Okay, and yeah, this is truly a whirlwind of charm and idealism here. What I'm getting here is that their whole life has been sharp edges and clear rules. Take what you want, break what it gets in the way, stay three steps ahead. Then you showed up and the rules started bleeding, like bending in ways they couldn't control. Okay, yes, I'm seeing a little bit of hot-headed person here. It could be you or it could be them, but it started as irritation. First, real low grade annoyance at how easy you made everything look, smiling like the air wasn't heavy, talking like people weren't measuring every word for weakness. Like you have this naive, cute, and sensible type of things in you. Okay, they used to feel like that. Sometimes people used to say that that person is an airhead, like that you are someone, is very easygoing, easy to talk, take things lightly, doesn't even think that someone could harm you. You have an innocence in your behavior, the way you talk, okay? And like that type of person, okay? It shows in your behavior, it shows in your attitude, okay? Like that you don't hide things, you don't hide feelings. You are someone who is very empathetic, compassionate. You have a kindness in your tone, in your face, and it shows. Okay, and yeah, yes, like you talk like people weren't measuring, okay, around you. Like they told themselves that they was just watching because they were a variable, okay, like you were a variable they hadn't accounted for. But that's where it already got slippery because they started watching longer than they needed to. Okay, started noticing the little shit like how your shoulders dropped when you thought no one was looking, how you still tried to be decent in a place that punished like decent. Okay, and how your love hit different when it was real. And then the feeling shifted. Slowly, it gradually started to save, got heavier, like something under the ribs, walk out hungry, and it only like quiet down when you were close enough that they couldn't track your breathing. They feel like that something is missing. They feel like hot-headed. They lose their mind when you're not around. Okay, and they hated it, like hated how this focus narrowed the second you walk into a room, you walk into their life. Hated how the noise in their head, the constant calculation going on in their head, like that you have like taken over their mind like 100%. The threat assessment has got quieter around you, and the louder the second you look at someone else. No, that's like the last piece of thread they can handle. They get snapped immediately. Yes. Okay, so wait, let me look back for a second. All right. Yeah, like I said, this person is already convinced that you are theirs. See, because this part like still does not sit right even in their own mind. Like they didn't do soft, okay? Never had done anything something like that. Affection was a word other people used when they wanted something, but with you, like it wasn't soft. Like it was possessive in a way that scared them a little. And they didn't scare easily. This person is not someone, who gets, yeah, what should I say? Get like there's a possessive, or no, this is not something they do usually. Okay. And it was a need to know that where you were at all times. At first, this is a thinking they had for you. Okay, the way might be their chest tightened when you drifted towards that other person, the ugly satisfaction that rolled through them every time the misunderstanding they built made you pull back a fraction away from them. It gave them a kind of entertainment. Yeah, they liked it at first, but the more they started to get involved in it, the more they started to realize that they were actually collecting pieces of you without even permission of yours. And they were the way you rub the back of your neck might be you were thinking, the dumb little habits that you have, the fact that you still believe people could be better than they were. They didn't want to change those things, not at all. They didn't want to change you. They didn't want you to hate the other person as well, like I told you earlier. What they wanted, they just wanted all of them, whatever you have, whatever the qualities you have, aimed at them, only them. Okay, that was a part that kept them up because wanting something that specific made them vulnerable, and vulnerability was a liability they couldn't afford. Okay, here is a part that actually kept looping. Okay, I'm saying they couldn't decide if they wanted to protect you or corner you. Because, see, like they know one thing that they're determined to get you. And their impatience is like getting the better of them. They're very calculated, they're very analytical. But when it comes to you, like that, their reasonable mind doesn't reason with them. Their heart and their mind doesn't talk together, doesn't settle together, they doesn't just come together. Because if they have a heart, you can say, what their mind says, then they would have like done tremendous bad things here. But they listen to their heart here. Okay, because see, they couldn't decide, like I told you, but both are just live in the same space. 1 minute they cast themselves scanning a room or for traps before you even notice them. Next minute, they'd be engineering little distances between you and anyone who looked at you too long, especially the person you are interested in. That person is like a sore thumb to this person. Okay, every time the doubt they planted did its job and you step back, something in them settled, then immediately got hungrier for the next confirmation, like they felt calmness when you were annoyed at them. Weird as that sounds, isn't it? But yes, because annoyance meant you were looking, meant the connection is alive and living, developing. Indifference would have killed them slower than any blade. So they kept poking, kept existing in your peripheral vision, kept making sure the path back to that other person's did just crack enough that you wouldn't fully trust it again. They're breaking your trust in the other person and building that trust towards them. And every time you glance their way instead, that hungry thing under their ribs purred. And now this is where it gets real for them. Because the spark they're feeling for you is insanely strong. See, they started measuring time by how long it had been since they last saw you. Okay, see, hours felt longer, conversation with other people felt like static. They caught themselves rippling small moments, a look, a half smile, the way you said their name like it still belonged to a person and not a warning. Those replaced like did something to them, made the rest of the world feel temporary, like made you feel permanent in a way nothing else ever had. They knew it was messy. They know it is messy. They knew the whole thing was built on a foundation of careful placed cracks and quiet interference. But the feelings itself, what about them? They can't have it. They can't handle that. That wasn't calculated. Whatever feelings they started to feel during this process, that wasn't calculated. Their actions were calculated, not emotions. Okay, that was the one part they couldn't fake or control. Like it sat in the chest like a second heartbeat they never asked for. Loud when you were near, louder when you weren't. And the one thing that quieted it even a little was knowing you were still inside their orbit. They was slowly, deliberately closing around you. And they didn't have pretty language for it. Okay? Still does not. It wasn't love the way people write songs about. I told you, it isn't a kind of love that you write songs about. It was a need with teeth, possession wrapped in something that almost looked like care if you squinted. And the wildest part, the part they still turns over their head when the room goes quiet, is that they didn't want to stop it. Okay? Even when it made them reckless and rash at times, they doesn't give a damn about it. Even when it made them softer in places they used to be armored, they just wanted more of it. more of you looking their way, more of the quiet that only happened when you were close enough to touch. And that's the whole of it, my love. Ugly, simple, and like still expanding. Yes, it's still expanding. It is not the end of it. It is just the start. I have given you on the start of what is going on here. Like they feel you, change the temperature of every room you walk into, and once they have noticed that, there is like no going back to the version of themselves that didn't care about you anymore. So, my love, this is the reading I had for you today. It is totally unique, and this is not a type of reading I usually do. But yes, this energy is heavy, it is ugly, it is tenacious, it is all that mix. It is a mix of all the combination. Okay, yes, you can say it is. What should I say? It is a mixture. Okay, so take whatever resonated with you and tell me about what you felt from this reading. It could be anything you have felt, any message could maybe have resonated with you. Let me know. I go through all the comments and I love reading about you and your stories. Okay, I will be seeing you in the next reading. Till then, God bless you and bye bye.